Networking Podcast promotes successful business experts. I'm Tom Reaoch, known as the King of Networking, connecting people throughout the world from my podcast studio in Brazil. Today we talk with Rick Ornelas. He's the founder and CEO of iSpark Change, and he's joining us from Montgomery, Texas. Rick Ornelas is a best-selling author, professional coach, helping others on a global scale expand their social impact. So, Rick, what is iSpark Change?
Well, first off, Tom, thank you very much for having me on your show. It's a pleasure and honor to be here. iSpark Change it's all about community. It's about connecting those in the world who want to make an impact, who want to spread positive change and make the world a better place. And for me, I always felt that I was too small to make a difference, and just being one individual. And so what we've created with iSpark Change is a place where people can feel that their work matters, that their voice matters, that they are making a difference in the world with their actions, however big or small, that they all make a difference and have an impact on everyone else to make the world a better place.
Well, to that point, I agree. But you only make an impact if you really do use your voice. If you're silent and you're not part of something, then it really doesn't help much, right?
Yes, yeah, for sure. And that resonates with what I was saying just a minute ago, is that for many years I just didn't get involved in things. I didn't use my voice. I had a successful career and family and what people would deem as a good life, but I was essentially playing too small. I wasn't having the impact that I could. And that all changed for me in 2020 when, I was faced with the adversity of an uncertainty of the future. And then I had to make some changes. And that's when I created iSpark Change.
And to that, many times we take the role of being a spectator sitting in the bleachers and watching the game. And because we think we're not part of the game. But in essence, as you refer to the world, we are the game.
Yes, very, very much so. And that's where, I think the world, when I was younger, I used to think the world was so big. And now through the internet and social media and our over-connected world, the world has shrunk. It has shrunk so much that, I can speak to you from in Brazil, from Texas, no big deal. Mm-hmm. And so with that world shrinking, then we can have an impact more so than just in our immediate surroundings.
Well, I agree with you. Even in a business sense, most businesses start out local. Their focus is local. But the global influences are total today. You can have your little local shop, but we're influenced. We're influenced by what's happening out there.
Yeah.
And I saw on your site, so you try to create a positive change movement, right? So you want to recruit inspiring leaders, and you help them become inspiring persons?
Yes, that's exactly correct, because we want to, we talked about using our voice a minute ago, and we want to help others to use their voice and share their voice, because there's many people around the world that outside of their small sphere of influence, others would not know who they are or not know about them. And so through our social media, through our podcast, we want to amplify their work. We want to spread their work to others that may not have heard about them if it wasn't for our platform.
Yeah, and I agree with you, because, the world, it's not small, it's the same size, but technology has brought us to, and there aren't any corners. Okay, take you to the far-reaching corners. We get everywhere. We can get everywhere, and we have people listening, finding us from everywhere.
Very, very true. And one thing that I was pleasantly surprised about, Tom, was when I started the iSpark Change podcast. Very quickly in the analytics, we started seeing listeners from India, listeners from Australia, listeners from New Zealand, these other countries that I would have never known or thought that we would reach them so quickly, but we did very rapidly.
Well, and for me, even Café Networking, but 10% of my listeners at Café Networking are from India. And it's the same thing. There are people out there searching and looking and listening and trying to find. And we need to raise the voice. I'm saying in a way that we need to pervade the voice. We have to show it. We have to tell it. And we need to be reachable. And as many platforms that we can be on. And I think that's the social engagement. Many people fear social engagement. They have a voice. They have something to say. They may be inspiring. But I think they haven't reached that comfort zone of the sharing, as you mentioned.
Very true. And that's why we want to show them that, our environment is a safe place, that it is a place that they can share, and they're not going to be judged. They're not going to be evaluated. They're just going to be able to share what they're all about, share their work, share the ways that they're positively influencing the world, and others will welcome it. And that's what we've seen in our community in the past few years.
So how can our listeners find you and your community?
It's very simple. Just the letter I and then Spark Change. If they go to isparkchange.com, we can be found on any social media platform at iSparkChange. Our most active platform is Instagram. Mm-hmm. There's actually I_Spark_Change, but you find us either way. And that's where we've built our community. We're about 30,000 strong so far and growing. And our future, Tom, is that, this is only the beginning. That's why we're building a community. But our future is to have our own social media platform, the world's first social impact social media platform that is 100% geared towards connecting and empowering those individuals that want to share their voice and want to spread positive change.
Well, actually, you already have that. You're starting to tell people about it, right?
Yeah, yes. Thank you.
No, well, congratulations on what you're doing, because we are impacted. Everybody's impacted. But I think it's normally about a bottom line. Everybody's out for the buck, the dollar, for whatever money it could be. But I think social engagement is an essential part of continuity and bettering this world of ours.
I agree 100%. And that's why we're doing what we're doing. And hopefully your listeners and your audience, this conversation will resonate with someone out there, and they'll check us out and they'll be a part of the community, and maybe we can share their voice.
Well, I'm sure it will. I think some takes more time than others, but it will happen. But I want to congratulate with you and your community and that they're doing, and just keep up the work, okay?
Well, thank you very much, Tom. It's been a pleasure to be on your show, and an honor, and I appreciate all the work that you do.
Thank you. And for our listeners, it's Rick Ornelas, R-I-C-K, the last name O-R-N-E-L-A-S. Again, he's an author, professional coach, and on global scale helping expand social impact. You'll find more information on isparkchange.com, isparkchange.com. Café and Networking is brought to us by Focus Semi Market Intelligence, an agricultural market research specialist in Brazil. More information at their site, focusmi.com. Thanks for listening until the next time here at Café and Networking Podcast.